Hey guys, this is Tong here, and I'm going to review two consoles for you today. The first one is going to be the Ouya console. This is a console that came out quite recently. It was actually a Kickstarter project that kind of flew off, and then people really got excited about it, about the idea of this console. So the idea of this console is that all the games on this console, you can try it before you buy, much like shareware basically. So you can try a demo of the game, and if you really like it, then you can purchase the full version. And that's the main concept behind this console, and it's pretty well cost as well. So when this console came out, it only cost $99, which is a pretty good value for a console, you know, compared to Xbox or PS3, which costs like $300, $400. So the main concept of this console is focused on value and focused on giving people the ability to play games without having to purchase anything. The try before you buy, shareware, that kind of stuff. So as for the console itself, I've only had it for a few days, but I can show you basically the basics of this console, as there isn't that much to show you. So the controller is kind of like an Xbox controller, sort of. It has your basic analog joysticks. It's got the digital pad, it's got the standard 4 buttons around here, and the shoulder buttons as well. And something that I really don't really like about this controller is that it's really hard to figure out where to put the battery. First of all, the battery actually goes underneath these plates here, and you actually have to tear them off to be able to replace them, which is a little bit annoying for me. And there's no wired option, which means that it's always going to suck your batteries if you use this controller. So one controller does come with the Ouya. If you want more, you have to purchase them. They're $50 each, I think. But you can use your Xbox and your PS3 controllers and pair it with the Ouya box. So as for the Ouya box itself, this is basically what it looks like. It's a box, like a square round box like this, and it's pretty simply designed, and I really like it because it takes up only a small amount of space. Because look how small it is, right? It only has one power button, and on the back it has the ports for the power, the Ethernet, the USB. There's a USB port and HDMI, and I think this is a mini USB. Haven't used it yet, but yeah, that's basically the console. It's really, really small. And then as for the console itself and how it plays, this is basically it. I have it on my portable monitor here, but basically this is it. You have 4 options. Make and manage are basically if you are building some games for Ouya. Well, manage is actually for settings. So manage is for your settings, make is for if you're a developer. And then the 2 main options are play and discover. Play is what it is. It's whatever games you have installed on your Ouya, you can play them. Discover is where you purchase your content. And here is the biggest problem of Ouya. The biggest problem is that if you develop games for Ouya, pretty much you have to use their development system, and it's not Android powered, it's not iOS, so you don't have access to Google Play or the App Store or any other content network. You basically only have access to the Ouya network, their network of games, and it's pretty limited right now. And that's the biggest problem. Is say you have an Android version of these games, like Shadowgun for example, that you can already purchase on Android, but you had to purchase it again on Ouya if you want to play it, and that's pretty annoying, right? I mean, you already purchased it once, now you have to purchase it again for Ouya system now. So that's the problem. They should have hooked up with Google Play or the Android App Store or some other content store like Nvidia's content store or Sony's content store or something. Because right now it only has a limited selection of games. And I'm not sure what the biggest incentive to develop for these games are. It really depends on how many people buy this console. But right now, pretty much all the games you find on here, you can find on Android or iOS. And there's really no really good incentive to purchase this console unless you like the cost of the console. It's only $99, and it's pretty portable, but other than that, I mean, you can find these games elsewhere. They do come with some emulators. You know, I can try out my Super NES emulator. But again, these emulators you can find on your Android tablet too. But you do have the option of playing with this controller, so if you like the tactile feedback instead of using the console, that's a good option to play this. Right now I'm gonna fire up a game, Super Mario RPG on the console, on this SNES emulator. And the other thing is that this thing actually has a touchpad in the middle, which kind of moves this mouse around on the screen, as you can see. But as far as I know, there's not many games that use it, and I don't really know why they haven't. Like, what's the point of this touchpad? There's really no point right now. And there's no start button. See, there's no start button on here. There's a Ouya button, which you can use to go back to the main menu at any time, but there's no actual start button for context settings. So, I mean, yeah, this emulator works fine and stuff, but as I said, you can already find that on other systems. So let me go back. I'm going to try Sonic 4, or actually Sonic CD, which is a pretty good Sonic game. And yeah, that's basically, you're now kind of playing like a retro kind of console, because now this is like Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis, right? A lot of the games on here are kind of old school and retro, and if you like that kind of stuff, then go for it. But I mean, you can just use emulators too. And yeah, that works as you expect. A lot of the games on here are kind of old school games, and pretty much you can find them on other consoles too. So there's not really too much incentive to purchase it on Ouya. So yeah, I'd say the best thing about this console is it is relatively low costed at $100, and it's pretty small and portable. But other than that, the biggest problem is the content, and there's just not enough content, or no, there's not enough exclusive content on here to make you want to buy it. And yep, that's it for this review. Please comment if you have any more questions.